Hello everyone. Today I have decided to do a tour of my bookshelves. If you are new here, welcome. I am Christy Lynn. I am the author and illustrator of the Adventures of Jemmy children's series. So as you can probably tell, I like books. But my problem is that I like collecting and buying books and having them on my bookshelf more than I do actually reading them. So I've only read about 10 or 15% of the books on my bookshelf, and the other 85% have just been sitting there for a long time. I've either partially read them and never finished them or never started at all. So hopefully by the end of this I'll be able to pick out a few books to maybe donate, some that I don't want anymore, so I can make room for some new books that I have bought recently or got at little free libraries. So I actually did a bookshelf reorganization about a month ago. I had gotten a lot of new books and I didn't have any room on my shelf to put them. So I took all of my books off and I went through and I got rid of some that I didn't need anymore. And I actually bought a new shelf to add to my bookshelf since my shelves are able to be moved. And so that gave me a whole new row to put some of the books that I had just gotten. So come along with me as I show you the books on my bookshelf. So my goal for while I'm going through my shelves is to try to find some books that I haven't read and that I might not be interested in, because I have a whole stack of books here that I might need to make room for. These are ones that I found either in my attic or at a little free library. And if I like them, then I would like to find room on my shelves for them. So let's see what I can find. So this first shelf is all of my Harry Potter books and Harry Potter DVDs and some other little knickknacks that I have. And of course I have two wands here. So I am definitely not getting rid of anything from that shelf. And as I go through these next shelves, I'm going to give a quick explanation about why I have the book, or maybe where I got it from, and a quick explanation about how I have them categorized. So this first shelf is some of my favorite books and some of the books that I am most interested in reading. I started off with sorting them by having like my favorite books towards the center, and I put like similar authors together and similar themes, like these are all have to do with like the ocean. And then I tried to do size when the other ones didn't look right, so I just tried to make it look nice. So this first book is The Other World by Abby Emmons. She is a YouTuber that I like to watch, and this is one of her books. The next one is Fourth Wing, which is one of my 5-star reads. This next one is Quicksilver. I was really interested in reading this one. I haven't yet, and I also did not realize it was this big when I bought it because I bought it online, but that's okay. These next few books are all by Trisha Levenseller, who is my favorite author. This first one is The Shadows Between Us. I do love that book. It is a duology at the moment. This is The Darkness Within Us. I have not read this one yet, but I'm excited to read it. Blade of Secrets is also a duology. I've only read the first one, and I didn't care for it as much, so I might give that another try. Daughter of the Pirate King and Daughter of the Siren Queen are also a duology, and Daughter of the Pirate King was my favorite book for a while. I will show you my new favorite in a little bit. Next is Fable, which is also another pirate type book. This next one is The House in the Cerulean Sea. I've heard good things about this one. I've tried reading it. I'm having trouble getting through the beginning, but I think I'm starting to get into kind of the main plot. And I do need to read it because my brother wants to borrow this one eventually, so I should get to reading that one. All the Stars and Teeth is another like ocean one. I think it has to do with mermaids. I have not read that yet. And my current favorite book, The Spell Shop. It's just so cozy and I love it. And then I have the next book in the series. I think it can be read as standalone. I have the Enchanted Greenhouse. I've read a few chapters into it, but I have not finished that. I have the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I have not read that yet because I wanted to wait for fall. But I have read the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, and I did really like that one. I also have Serpent and Dove. I read like a chapter of that and then put it down, so I do need to read that one. I have Six of Crows, which I do need to read that as well because my brother wants to borrow this one. So I should get to reading that so he can borrow it. And then I have this one. I only put this one up here because it didn't really fit down below. But it did seem interesting, so I put this up here. This one is Shakespeare's Secret. This was my favorite book when I was younger. And it's a really nice mystery. And lastly on this shelf is Sense and Sensibility. I have this beautiful cover of it. I watched the movie and I love the movie, so I thought maybe I should try reading the book. And as you can probably tell, all of these books are fantasy. And well, this one's kind of contemporary, and then most of them have a little bit of romance in them as well. And this next shelf, I also kind of tried to organize by size. It just was that the smaller books seem to fit better in the center. I also think that I have not read any of these books. I got all of these either like at the dollar store or at a thrift store. And I just haven't gotten around to them yet. So I think this one, The School for Good and Evil, I did start reading that one. I read a few chapters, but I never finished it. And then 1,000 Heartbeats, I also read about half of this one, and I did not finish that, so I need to restart those and actually finish them. These are all also fantasy, like pirate, magic, vampires, all sorts of different ones here, and I can't really tell you much about them since I haven't read them yet, but they did sound exciting when I bought them. Alright, and this next shelf is where I store all my bookmarks. And normally I don't usually store books sideways like this because it makes it kind of hard to get to them, but these bottom three, I wanted them on this shelf since I wasn't as excited for them, and they don't fit standing up, so I did have to end up stacking a bunch of books here for that reason. I think I got most of these at a thrift store. A couple from the dollar store. This one's actually by the singer from a band that I like. I read a little bit of that, but I never finished it. And these next two are The Isle of the Lost and Return to the Isle of the Lost, which are books related to the Disney's Descendants movies. And I like the movies, so I thought I would give the books a try. I read a little bit of this one, but I never finished it. These next two are some middle grade ones that I kept because they look kind of interesting. One's about magic and one's kind of a mystery one. So I figured I might still give those a try. This next one is the Percy Jackson Lightning Thief book. I really liked the movie, and so I thought that I should probably read the book and give that a try. These next two books were ones that I read when I was in school. This one I read in 7th grade and I liked it, so I wanted to get my own copy. And then this one, The Book Thief, I read in 10th grade, and it took me a while to get through it, but I did end up kind of liking it, so I figured that I would keep it. And then this one is Father Brown. I really like this show. It's a priest who is a kind of like a detective, similar to like Murder, She Wrote. And I saw this book, and so I think it's filled with a couple of different of the detective stories from Father Brown, so I have not read that one yet either. And then over here are a bunch of the kids' books that I had when I was younger that I didn't want to part ways with. So I got like my Rugrats ones and Care Bears and a few SpongeBob ones over here and a Blue's Clues. And I know I probably won't read them, but I loved them when I was little, so I find it hard to get rid of them for nostalgia. And this next shelf I also love because all of these books, except these two, are all in the same series. It is the Trixie Belden series. It is a young girl who, her and her friends come together and form like a detective club, and they solve all these mysteries around their town. These first 16 books my mom read when she was younger. As when I was in middle school, we found them in the attic, and then I loved them, so she started buying me the rest of the series. There are 39 books, I think, and I have 34 of them. So I do love that series. And then she also bought me these two Ginny Gordon books. I have not read these, but she said it is very similar to Trixie Belden. So I'm excited to read those as well. On this bottom shelf, it's kind of hard to see, but I have my Miley Cyrus autobiography and a series of Hannah Montana books. And I also have my Taylor Swift books down here that just don't fit up above. I do have a Spanish to English dictionary. I forgot most of my Spanish, and I kept it just in case one day I might need to translate something. And then in this container is just a bunch of dishes that I've collected for whenever I get my own house. I didn't want to pass up on the cute dishes while they were there at the store. And then here I have my giant 4-inch binder full of Pokemon cards that my brother and I have collected over the years. And then over here I have these shelves that just have a lot of my knickknacks and collectibles on them, but they do have some books. So I have my Taylor Swift Eras Tour book because it's too big for my other shelves, but it fits perfect there. I have this little book about dreams and translating dreams or what they mean, because I have a lot of strange dreams that I remember. And then I have a little young Catholic book, and I have a Bible from my grandma, Catholic Bible from when I was in Sunday school, and some other religious books that I was given as well. And this last shelf is also one of my favorites because it is all of my own books. So one of the things I was excited about with becoming an author is being able to have my own books on my bookshelf. So whenever I published a new book, I took the first copy that came in and I signed it and dated it and would add it to my bookshelf over here. And I didn't want it to get mixed up with my other ones, so I kept them separate so they were easy to find. And then I have like a sticker sheet that I made from my series as well. Here's one more quick look at my bookshelves. Let me know in the comments if there's any of these books that I haven't read that you have and you liked them. So I will maybe try to read those first and see if I like them as well. Alright, so since these are my favorite books, I am not going to be getting rid of any of these. And I don't think that I want to touch any of these either. So I will probably get rid of some from this shelf. I know I started reading this one on the bottom. Move my bookmarks here. I started reading this Explorer's Code one before, and I didn't get very far, so I will try this. And I've also started reading this other one time. I only made it like a few pages in, so I will try reading this one as well. And I will probably try reading The Isle of the Lost. I know I love the Descendants movies, and I read maybe a quarter of this book before, but if I don't care for this one, then I can get rid of 2 books out of that one. So I think those will be the 3 that I will try reading over these next few weeks. Thank you for coming along with me. I hope you enjoyed seeing what books I had on my bookshelf, and I will update you in a few weeks about whether I actually read these books or not. So until then, I hope you have a great day, and see you then.